This is WKYT News at 6:30 on the CW Lexington.
Good evening, I'm Sam Dick, live here on the CW Lexington.
And I'm Jennifer Palumbo. Welcome in. Each night we bring you the top stories and offer a little perspective to the day's news.
Let's get started. Trending right now, Lexington police believe a man behind an attempted assault in August may be responsible for other sexual assaults in Lexington. They say that he may be targeting women walking alone in the UK area.
That story is the most clicked on right now on WKYT.com. That's followed by a Lexington bartender moved to tears after reading a note left by a veteran on the 9/11 anniversary. Also, arrests made in the murder of a Kentucky National Guardsman.
Said, hey, my daughter's at our house right now, and can you come arrest her for me?
Getting a rehab patient to actually stay in rehab is often a difficult and seemingly impossible task for many. Find out how Casey's Law helps family and friends get help for their loved ones.
A 10,000 square foot wellness center and an indoor water slide, just to mention a couple of things. We have a sneak peek of Lexington's newest YMCA. That's in an area of town that, of course, Jennifer, is growing by leaps and bounds. Really needed something like that, and they've been planning for 10 years for this brand new YMCA, and it's going to open soon.
It looks fantastic, and I'll tell you what, meteorologist Jim Caldwell joins us now. It would be nice if the pools were still open right now. It is still so hot.
I thought you were getting ready to say I look fantastic too.
Well, you do.
But okay, we'll take that as well. It would be, because we've had plenty of heat to keep them open. That's the thing. But we're about to shake things up a little bit with chances of showers and thunderstorms as we move into the next few days here. We're looking outside right now, and you can see that it looks absolutely fantastic out there. Plenty of sunshine showing up here in the area, and we are right now at 84 degrees with a little hint of humidity that's pushed the temperature up, or at least the feels like temperature, to 85 degrees. So it feels just a little bit worse than it actually is. Now, we're going to keep that humidity around to feed those showers and thunderstorms as we head into the weekend as well. Here's what our Defender Radar Network is showing. Just some clouds, and that's from the satellite, by the way. And those are streaming into central Kentucky, working their way into eastern Kentucky as well. Those coming from dying showers and thunderstorms from earlier today. All calm and quiet for the rest of us over the rest of the evening as well, until we get into this. We track the chances of rain the next few days here. I've got it elevated a little bit on Monday because I think there might be a little moisture left over into Monday morning, but beyond that, we go into next week, we're fine. It's when we get into the weekend, that's when we start talking about more widespread chances of showers and storms rolling through the area. I will break them down and track them hour by hour coming up, guys, here in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Jim. Tonight, some University of Kentucky students are questioning why they are just now finding out an attempted sexual assault happened near campus.
It happened back in August. Lexington police believe this man, seen here in this police sketch, may be behind other assaults in that area. WKYT's Victor Puente has our top story at 6:30.
That sexual assault happened near the intersection behind me, just a few blocks from UK's campus. Now UK's police chief says they're dealing with a lot of rumors. On August 26th, just after midnight, a man attempted to sexually assault a woman walking near Grosvenor and Arlington Avenues. He was chased off by two other men, and yesterday Lexington police released this sketch of the suspect. They said he could be behind several other assaults near the University of Kentucky during the last several years. This morning, UK police released a statement in response to rumors that had begun circulating on social media and through texts.
We are not aware of any serial rapists on campus. There have been no incidents that have occurred on campus that are tied to possibly anything that occurred off campus.
But some students say they wish they'd been made aware of the off-campus investigations. They say if it hadn't been for social media, they wouldn't have known the attack happened.
So I would have had no idea if I wouldn't have been a part of a message.
That's a big safety concern. With a big campus like this and in a city like Lexington, you know, you kind of have to have a grasp on that type of things.
The university has a safety alert system, but Monroe says the circumstances of this case didn't warrant its use.
Well, we send UK alerts out when there's an immediate threat to campus. This incident occurred 2.5 weeks ago. The sketch was released last night, so that was the information we received does not pose an immediate threat to campus at this time.
Chief Monroe wanted to remind students that the university does offer escorts at night. They also offer late-night rides through the Wildcab service. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
And Lexington police tell us that they did ask the university to consider sharing the information with their students.
2 of the 3 people accused of murdering a Kentucky National Guardsman answered to charges in court today. Christy Hanley and Jeremy Harris both pleaded not guilty to tampering and abuse of a corpse. Harris also pleaded not guilty to murder charges. Police say the victim, Trevor Dilger, was shot to death over the Labor Day weekend before a man drove him out to a remote location in Lexington, then set the car on fire. A third suspect, Justine Sloan, is expected to be arraigned tomorrow. A Russell County mother charged in the murder of her toddler appeared in court today. Jessica Warner entered a not guilty plea in a video arraignment from the Russell County Jail. Police say Warner was high on meth at the time of the crash that killed her 3-year-old daughter. Her preliminary hearing is set for September 26th.
It appears flu season is getting an early start in Kentucky this year. The Kentucky Department for Public Health says it has received reports of flu cases from Fayette, Jefferson, and Bullitt counties. There are 10 cases so far. Health experts say that flu season typically begins in October or November, and they say the last flu season extended into the spring. And doctors say it's important not to take the flu lightly.
Flu can be deadly, and it is very, very important to get your vaccines and to protect your family members.
On that note, doctors say getting a flu shot as early as possible is your best defense against the flu. And they point out that Flu Mist will not be available this year because the FDA has taken it off the market.
Saturday's UK football game will honor heroes from the armed services to first responders. And that includes a Kentucky State Police trooper killed in a crash. WKYT's Hillary Thornton talked to the widow of Trooper Blake Tribby about why this latest honor is so special.
Nearly 4 years have passed since Trooper Blake Tribby was killed. Trooper Tribby off duty in his personal vehicle, stopping to help some people on the side of the road when the crash happened.
He's a third-generation police officer. It's what he always wanted to do, and he was doing what he loved, and so you can't ask for more than that.
Trooper Tribby's wife, Rebecca, and other family members spending much of this past year seeing that sacrifice formally honored.
His line of duty was recently approved last year, and so we've done the honoring this year at the memorials.
Receiving the great honor of seeing the name Anson Blake Tribby added to the National Police Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C. Each ceremony different in its own way. Saturday's holding a special place.
My husband, as a trooper, his job was to protect the citizens of the Commonwealth. To be here in Kentucky, where we're all born and raised, and the state where Blake served, and ultimately the state that he gave his life for, it just is more, because these are our people. This is home, and to see people at home honoring him, it just is special.
A special time slated before kickoff as pictures of heroes from Kentucky are shown on the screen while My Old Kentucky Home is played.
Tribby says without a doubt it will be a very emotional time when My Old Kentucky Home is played this Saturday here inside of Commonwealth Stadium. It is a song that she says played a big role in her husband's life.
When the troopers are sworn in, and at their graduation, they sing My Old Kentucky Home. And so to see his picture up there recognized during that song will just bring back lots of memories.
Memories of a young trooper who lived out his oath, honored at the place he graduated from in 2009, the university where his wife now attends law school.
When these events happen, it reminds us that people haven't forgotten about them.
In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Kickoff is 4 o'clock, so get there early to honor the heroes. Now, Tribby says their family, especially Blake's dad, are all huge UK fans. She says they're planning a big tailgate before the game to celebrate Blake's life and have many family and friends traveling to Lexington to attend the game. The city of Lexington has a new junior fire chief.
Well, let's meet him. Ryan Frisbee is a 5th grader at Liberty Elementary. He received the honor after winning an essay contest encouraging people to check the dates on their fire alarms. Now he has some big responsibilities.
My responsibilities are going to be teaching kids about fire prevention, specifically changing your smoke alarms every 10 years and checking the batteries once a month.
Ryan will be sharing his message of fire safety on Monday during WKYT News at noon.
It's a law that lets family and friends keep their loved ones in rehab. How it works in 3 minutes on the WKYT News at 6:30 on the CW Lexington.
2 Broncos players penalized for bumping helmets with the Panthers' Cam Newton. Dave Baker tells us the price they have to pay in the Sports Buzz coming up. Welcome back to WKYT News here at 6:30 on the CW Lexington. When a person checks into rehab, there is very little keeping them in that facility. They can basically walk out whenever they want.
On WKYT News at 6, we told you how a law gaining popularity prevents rehab patients from leaving on their own time. Casey's Law gives a family member or friend access to a court-ordered petition to put their loved one in rehab. And if they leave, a warrant is issued for their arrest.
Said, hey, my daughter's at our house right now, and can you come arrest her for me?
If you would have asked me 10 years ago if I would have ever been proactive about putting my child in jail, I would have said, you know, it's crazy.
To help us break down the news, we are joined now by Miranda Combs, and it has to be heartbreaking for a parent to fill out a court petition to put their child in rehab.
It's sad, but it's really a last-ditch effort for a lot of these families, like that nice couple that spoke to us about their journey. And their daughter Lindsay had a near-fatal overdose, then went back to heroin again. So they thought, we're going to get a warrant and we're going to try this again.
And obviously for the families, the concern is probably that the person is going to leave rehab because they've done it before.
And you know, I don't know about you, but I didn't really think about that. Once you get into rehab, that doesn't mean you have to stay. Right. And they were saying a lot of times they drop her off, and before they could even get back home, she was out of that rehab facility again. And so this was a way to keep her in rehab. And if she didn't stay in rehab, there was a warrant filed for her arrest. And in this case, she was arrested and put in jail for 30 days.
Obviously, these treatment facilities are extremely expensive. It seems like this would be a law that would benefit families that have better financial means.
And that's what I heard a lot when we were researching this story, is this is for wealthier families. Now, the person that created the law says, no, that's not the case. There are a lot of free treatment centers out there. Problem with that, though, is there's obviously a long wait for those. So you have to be an advocate, as she said in our story at 6, about this, and keep trying and go after these rehab centers and keep asking, because a lot of times you'll call and they'll be like 6 months wait. Call again the next day. It just is persistence.
And in this case, too, I understand that Lindsay, the recovering addict, has a daughter.
Yeah, and we didn't even talk about that in our story, but her parents are now raising her daughter, and we've done stories in the past on that. That's a growing trend right now because of this drug epidemic.
All right, Miranda Combs, thank you so much. And you can watch the full story on Casey's Law. Just go to WKYT.com or look inside the WKYT News app. And now let's send it over to Sam in the First Alert Weather Center. Sam?
Thank you, Jennifer. Honored to be here. Jim Caldwell making his debut on the CW Lexington 6:30 newscast. Chris Bailey decided he wanted to watch some football. Actually, he's doing some family things, but you stepped in and we're glad you did.
I did, and he only had one rule. He said,
what's that?
Don't you put a jacket on.
Yeah.
During that 6:30.
I got to take mine off, too.
And you see that? Yes.
I like the casual way you guys do this.
Fantastic.
Now, I like to ride my bike, and I like to ride on the Legacy Trail, which we have right here. This is video that I actually shot, so I'm going to get some credit for this. What I noticed when I was riding the Legacy Trail today, the creeks all over that area. It's the Cane Run watershed area is what they call it. But these creeks are nothing but rock. The weather has gotten to the point in the last, I don't know how many days, that it's so dry in some parts of the bluegrass where this is what a creek looks like now. I know people at home probably have seen the same thing on their farms or out in the country perhaps. But yeah, this is where we're at right now. So I guess we could really use some rain. When you have a creek like this that's nothing but rock.
When it starts looking like that, absolutely. And it has been a while since we've had substantial rain here in Lexington. Now, other parts of the area have been a little more fortunate, but we have been significantly drier. Through this graphic together, since the most recent decent rainfall that we had was only around 1/4 of an inch on September the 10th, Sam. Now, look at this. The actual truly decent amount, closing in on an inch, was August 20th. Now, think about that. We're almost a month since that happened. So that was the last decent round of rain that we had around here. So we do need the rain that's coming this weekend. Absolutely. Nothing out there right now, though. We are running in the low to mid 80s. As you see right there, it's 84 degrees in Lexington, and no precipitation anywhere. Some clouds are showing up out to our west, and we had some pushing through the skies here in central Kentucky earlier, but nothing at this moment. Low 80s also coming into play in many locations. Let's expand our view. Here's our next rainmaker. We need it. The timing on it is not exactly what we want because it arrives on the weekend and we have a lot of things going on. And maybe the peak of when it gets in here could bring more widespread arounds of showers and storms during the UK game itself. here's what we have. Frontal boundary, slow moving, working its way into Kentucky this weekend. And it's going to take its sweet time to completely get through here. It'll be by the time we get into Sunday night, early Monday morning before it completely clears town. Here's what we've got with our hour-by-hour run. Notice calm overnight and even into the early morning hours tomorrow. Low and mid-60s. That's what we'll have here. Let's advance a little bit further along where we get into Friday afternoon, Friday evening. We'll run into some chances of showers, isolated showers, maybe even a thunder shower or two. But highs are back in the upper 80s. But here comes the big push of rain past midnight going into the early morning hours on Saturday. Here comes one wave. That's the early batch. We'll have another wave coming around 4 or 5 o'clock. Game time. Rounds of showers and thunderstorms sweeping into the area. Here comes our 7-day forecast. Only positive spin with dealing with rain on the weekend this time around is the fact that we do need it. But you go beyond that, we're dry again, pleasant again, with temperatures back into the 70s and low 80s. So we'll pay the price with some of the heat, humidity, showers and thunderstorms, and then we're right back to where we have been, guys.
Hopefully it won't chase too many people away from attending the game on Saturday. You know, because the players really need people out there.
Absolutely, and it's Heroes Day, so.
We need to get out there and just put the poncho on and just take it.
No umbrellas at Commonwealth Stadium.
That's right.
All right. Thanks, Jim.
Well, we are getting our first look at this year's basketball Cats. Dave Baker's in with the Sports Buzz next.
Glad you're with us. It's time now for the Sports Buzz.
Each night we talk to Dave Buzz Baker for an inside look at what's going on. Coach Cal is busy on the road recruiting right now. Today his players smiling for the camera.
He gets it. He gets it in everything he does. First of all, a lot of people may not realize today was picture day over at UK. You see all these preseason magazines, publications, preseason shows that we do. Okay, we got to get those, where those pictures come from. Well, they're practicing. So they do it like in September. And you see the guys in all the different publications. I hope we see a shot of Derek Willis here. How about Briscoe, like actually taking some pictures? You think he's ever used a camera before?
No. He looks like it.
No, I don't think so. He's taken selfies with his iPhone before, Snapchatted or something. But Derek Willis has gone look at that hairdo. He's gone totally Bill Bryant. Remember he had like the blonde shortcut last year? And now he's just like, you know.
It's all business.
I like the way the uniforms look. I know my opinion doesn't matter much on that.
Yes, it does. You're a fan. I mean, but, you know.
I like them. What do you think, Jennifer?
I like them too. I mean, it's now they look like the football uniform with the checkerboard design, and it looks good. I'm ready for the season to start.
You were in elementary school, but Sam and I remember the denim uniforms.
Mid-90s, yes.
They need to bring those back. I saw fans on Twitter said, bring back the denim.
Those are George. Those aren't
Didn't they win a national championship with those denims?
They did.
Right.
All right, now Cal never runs out of ideas, and his latest one is a great one. For Big Blue Madness, what they're doing is they're inviting every player back. And it's kind of like our high school reunion. It's like, if you know where somebody is, if you know their address, call them. And they've actually got an address where they can do that now. If you know or a former player, you can email contact information to playersfirst@uky.edu to help the school get in touch with as many players as possible. Of course, Big Blue Madness coming up. Everybody knows what it's all about. You've seen everything over the course of the years. I don't think they're supposed to start camping out next week. I think it's supposed to be the week after next, but somebody will be camped out next week. So they did this one other time. Remember, Wad Jones was there. Joe B. Hall was there. It was when Cal first got here and tried to bring everybody under the big tent. I mean, from a recruiting standpoint, if you get all those Kentucky greats and those NBA guys were able to get here, it'd be like,
so it doesn't matter what year they play.
They want them all
to the 30s and 40s.
Right. No, it's not a scrimmage. They just want them to come back and kind of like a family reunion. And finally, serious note now. This whole NFL concussion thing, like Cam Newton is like bigger than like all three of us. I mean,
but he got drilled.
He's one of the largest humans I've ever seen. And so there's been a lot of discussion since that Thursday night game last Thursday night. We'll take a look at some of the action. He got hit in the head 5 times. Two Broncos players. Look at Brandon Marshall here. I mean, he just lifts off.
Wow.
But Newton is so I cannot describe how big he is. But these two guys got fined a total of $40,000 between them.
But look at that hit.
And they never took him out during the last drive
Never checked him out
for the concussion protocol because they said the tape clearly showed that he did not have a concussion. However, after the game, they put him through the concussion protocol. So they're going to have to do something about this because that guy just, I mean, he took a beating. And it's clear what the rule says. I mean, if you go for the head, you just can't do that. And I know he runs and he's a runner and he's going to get hurt. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of discussion about that on the Thursday night game, which debuts on CBS
Maybe
tonight.
they'll be a little more careful from now on.
Maybe so.
NFL.
Maybe so.
Always a pleasure, Dave.
Thanks. Big college weekend tomorrow. We'll preview it tomorrow. 3 huge games.
All right.
Ahead tonight, here on the CW Lexington, Family Feud's next, followed by Jeopardy at 7:30. Then at 8 o'clock, The Flash,
It's a really
followed
fast
by
show.
Beauty and the Best at 9.
And over on WKYT, it is NFL Thursday. The kickoff at 7:30. The New York Jets-Buffalo game starts at 8:30, followed by WKYT News later tonight around 11:30.
So take a look at this. This is the newest YMCA. It's set to open next month, and it's coming together really pretty nicely.
The 62,000 square foot Whitaker Family YMCA will definitely crown itself as the king of Ys in the city. It features a 10,000 square foot wellness center, exercise studios, a youth development wing, and check this out, it even has an indoor pool with a 2-story water slide. The 10-acre property was donated a decade ago by Kentucky businessman and philanthropist Bill Gatton.
Jim, I could see you and your little boy going down that slide together. Would you do it?
You know what? We were on vacation recently, and we did do that.
Did you?
So we would certainly be burning that
Well, he's actually ready because, as you can see, he's got the first endorsement deal since we've been doing the 6:30 show.
I know. I've got feet problems.
The only problem,
You're
those
all
look
good.
like U of L shoes.
I know, the red and black is not working at all.
I mean, come on,
There's
Jimmy.
red here in this tie,
But you are not going to change your shoestrings every day. Don't
Chris
give me
Bailey
that.
would not approve.
See, the problem is the tongue of those shoes.
You don't have black socks on, do you?
I've got some shorts.
That's even worse.
Stop. Get to
You
the
are
leather.
not Roger
Stop.
Federer.
Viewers just went through the roof.
Yes, like out the front door. They ran.
Oh my God! 7-day forecast there, guys. Rain coming our way, and I hope if Dave's at the game, I hope it just pours on him this weekend. Nobody else.
Just on him.
Just on him.
But I'll have white socks on, buddy.
I've got socks on there, just low ankle socks.
But they're black low ankle socks.
Thank you for being with us,
Look
Jim.
like you're at Disney for crying out
Probably his
loud.
last time.
I think so. Thanks for joining us.